Well, welcome now, Jared Boyd. He's the program director of WYXR, also known as Crosstown Radio. The station was rebranded and hit the radio waves in 2020 as the city's nonprofit community radio station with a free-form format. Always great stuff on the radio. Tomorrow, WYXR pays tribute to some pioneering Memphians in the music industry, and it's the DOWD Awards. And we're now the second year for this, right?
Second year, absolutely. Second annual. Glad to be bringing it back for the community.
It's a great thing. Great things you guys are doing at WYXR. But let's get to this. You've recognized the likes of Disco Queen Anita Ward, Ekpe, he's a musician and educator and the founder of the African Orchestra. We've had him here on CW30 on a couple of occasions and played some great music for us. Some very familiar names are on tap for this year, too.
Absolutely. Deborah Swanee, who, helps with the Archer Records office, and she also has toured with Al Green. Got Larry, Mr. Fingers Heard. I'm really excited to recognize house music in Memphis. We've got some Jason the Hater, who's a hip-hop guy. He also works at Whitehaven High School, a football coach. And, my favorite thing he does is, well, maybe my least favorite is when you go to his concert, he will put somebody at the door and say, you cannot leave until you rap. You're the star. You got to rap your way out of this room. So some people who not only have impact on music, but on community.
Yeah, you mentioned Deborah just a moment ago. She also heads up the founder and creator of the Sunset Jazz Concerts.
We cannot forget that. We cannot forget that.
At Court Square every summer. But the thing about that is not just about the entertainment. It's about opening the eyes and exposing our community to the great musical heritage that we have here, right?
Yeah, I also want to mention Martha Jean the Queen. We're honoring her posthumously, a pioneer of black women in radio, and Yvonne and Lorraine Mitchell, two of the daughters of Willie Mitchell, who they're ambassadors. If you've not had their home cooking, then that means that you haven't been by the studio, but they've cooked for the likes of Rock Hooter, Melissa Etheridge, Snoop Dogg. When you come through that door, if you're going to take in and soak in that Memphis music history, you got to get a plate for them too on your way out.
Anybody who's come to music to record any sort of music has had their cooking.
Absolutely.
And it's worth having.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Why is this heritage so important to us and to the world?
Well, you'd be hard-pressed to go anywhere or watch anything and not see a little bit of Memphis music, but you have to know what it is to know that it's there. I was watching All That the other day, and, Keenan is dancing around. I'm like, that's inspired by Otis Redding, that music, that sound. So you have to study up on it to know, and these are some of the people who maybe they won't get a Beale Street Brass note, they won't get a Memphis Music Hall of Fame honor. I know, because I'm on the nominating committee for the latter. But, I thought about what's that extra thing? What can I do that says it may not be about the amount of hits, it may not be about your overall longevity in music, but about the fact that you care about music and you care about community, that marriage of the two, because so many of our artists have to do both. If you're going to be a musician, and you maybe aren't afforded to have a long, illustrious career, then you have to find your niche in Memphis. And in so many ways, these musicians show up. There are church members, there are educators, they're in business, they're in manufacturing, they're in logistics. Yes, absolutely.
Everywhere you look around.
Absolutely.
We got to give them their flowers while they're here.
Yes, they deserve it, for sure.
Thanks a lot for coming in. WYXR and the DOWD Awards, always doing great stuff. Give them a listen.